Telling us for how long you have been trading at Gikomba and how this has been for you over the years.
Gikomba niko na almost 15 years nikifanya kazi hapo. Na nimejilelea hapo maisha yangu yote. Nimekuwa hapo Gikomba nikifanya biashara ya viti, franchise yote. Na tumeshachomekewa mara kadhaa.
Kama mara ngapi?
Hiyo ni mara ya 3. Tukichomekewa upande ya mbao sasa franchise. Tumechomekewa mara ya kwanza, tukajikakamua, tukaamuka, tukajenga. Mara ya pili ikakuja, haikutufikia kabisa, tukaikata katikati. Once moto inakuja, ikianza pande ile tunakujanga tunapomoa saiti moja. Unakuta haiwezi fuka pande ile ingine. Sasa hiyo tukaepa. Sasa ile ilikuwa wasi. Ni hii ndio imetuumiza saidi. Kwa sisi wakaaji wa Gikomba tumeumia saidi. Tumechomekewa zote, tukapoteza mapenda zetu huko. Wale walikuwa naishi karibu. Na mali ya kila mtu hapo ikaangamia. Hakuna mtu anayesema aliokoa. Kwa sababu hiyo moto within 30 minutes ilikuwa imefakate everything.
Naam. Na ukiangalia katika biashara ambayo umekuwa ukifanya, mali ambayo imepoteza ni kama kiasi gani cha pesa?
Ile nilikuwa nafanya saa ile imepotea yangu ni kama 600,000. Tukienda 700 hapo.
600,000 to 700,000.
Yeah, ile imepotea ile wakati moto ilianza. Hii sasa ya hii imechoma sababu ilikuwa properties ya customers. Zingine zilikuwa hapo. Variety zile na kuanga nazo zote zikaisha pamoja na machine. Zote zikaisha.
Issued in October 2017. We are now in July, soon it will be 1 year, but nothing seems to move. At least talking about that physical location, the DCC says that a lot of plans are underway. Then these traders are not waiting. They have families. They need to run their families.
I absolutely agree with that. In fact, we've been waiting for a year, and that is the question I've been asking. What has happened to this task force with 3 cabinet ministers led by James Macharia, the Minister for Infrastructure? We're waiting for them to respond because the people like Gikomba are saying we were promised this by the president. What has happened to the president's pledge that this market is going to be built? Now, it is already 1 year now.
Right.
And so we like those answers very quickly from the government. When is this project going to start? But in the meantime, let me say that this area that has been affected is outside the market. It is not the main market. And as the DCC has said, part of that is in along the river,
right,
which is a riparian land. But I don't see any reason why the traders would not be allowed to get back with their lives, because these are people who have invested. These are people who are working for themselves. If we do not allow them to continue the trading, what do we expect them to be? Criminals, thieves? Therefore, every effort must be made by the national government and the county government to ensure that these people can get back on their feet as quickly as possible. Already they have suffered casualties. They've lost loved ones and partners and business friends. I think there should be no delay in allowing those who want to put their lives together and to a certain extent not only be allowed but be helped to be able to get back to business as quickly as possible.
And Fidelis, you're one of those people who have been affected. Na nasema kwamba umepoteza kati ya 600,000 hadi 700,000 za mali. Na sasa inasemekana kwamba hamtaweza kujenga tena yale ama vile vibanda ambavyo mmekuwa mkifanyia kazi. Labda wewe ukitaka kuanza biashara tena, basi unahitaji nini ili uweze kurejelea biashara yako?
Ni capital tu. Capital ndio inaweza saidia kwa sababu watu wote tumeenda chini. Tumekuwa hatuna kitu. Kwa sababu kama umechomekewa na kila kitu na unajua saa nyingine tunachukuanga loans, tuna invest hapo ndio tupate kitu. Unakuta bado loan inakudai, huwezi chukua kwa sababu ulikuwa umechukua.
Sasa ni capital kama pesa ngapi hivi unahitaji?
Mimi sasa hii na saitaka 1 point something. Ndio niweze kuimprove kwa sababu saa hii pale nimeenda chini. Na kama wanasema tuwezi jenga hapo, inamaanisha serikali itafute binu ya wale watu wote wako pale vile tutaamuka, kwa sababu tuko na familias, watu wako na mahitaji kama binadamu vile mtu anakuanga, na wale watu wako pale ni wengi sana. Sijui serikali inastahili iingie, isaidie. Kama hapa hatutajenga, tuonyeshwe mahali ingine tunaweza fanyia kazi yetu.
Naam. Na wewe ulikuwa na insurance policy ya kuweza kusecure mali yako?
Hapana, sikuwa nayo.
Mbona?
Sikuwa nayo. Kwa sababu pale unajua ni tumezoea kufanya hapo. Hiyo ni jua kali tu. Ni jua kali. Na watu wa insurance sana sana wanakataanga mambo ya vibanda. Kwanza ukikuja umwambie ni hapa unataka kunishua kwa sababu ya moto, anaweza kataa. Hata kuambia amekataa, lakini atahepa.
Is that so? Are these concerns that you hear from the traders at the market?
Yes, I think not all the traders. I think it may be misleading to think that every trader is insured. It's a very small percentage of the traders in Gikomba that are insured. Those are the people with more capital, with more permanent structures. But most of the kiosk owners, most of the vibanda owners, simply do not have the means or meet the requirements for an insurance. And therefore, to argue that insurance is one of the factors that are causing the fire is a bit outstretched, I think. It might be a small factor, but the main problem of fires goes beyond insurance and individual self-interest. There are external factors. There are people who want to grab that land. There are people who want to speculate and do other things. There are people who want to displace. There are rivalries between different traders in the place and so on. So I think not everybody has an insurance, and that's why. And this is a market that caters for the poorest of the poor, as very small traders, and that's why I think the national government and the county government must wake up to help this particular section of our population. You know, we're seeking investment from outside. We're saying that we must grow our economy, and yet we're not helping those people who are struggling and are in the forefront of growing our economy, paying taxes, being in a livelihood, a decent, honest livelihood. And I think that is why I feel the people of Gikomba feel let down by both the national government and by the county government, that they're not getting the support and the push that they require in order to be successful in their businesses and to be able to earn a regular livelihood as citizens of this country.
And Mheshimiwa, beyond Gikomba market fires, we've seen several incidents within the city, talking about Langata and so many other places where fire hits a place and it's so difficult to put it out in good time, save lives and save property. And you are 17 members of parliament in Nairobi, and you understand the realities that affect especially the informal settlement areas. Why is it still hard to have proper mechanisms of how to respond to such kind of disasters?
I think we don't, from my experience of Nairobi since coming back and becoming an MP, is that the county authorities simply do not have the capacity to be able to deal with disasters. There isn't an efficient disaster system in place. And there are local problems, for example, that in many of this informal sector, it is very difficult to get in. Secondly, there are no water points. In the old days, there used to be water points around various parts of the neighborhoods that I grew up. Nowadays, you don't have water, and so many of these fire engines, when they're sent in, run out of water very quickly, and they have to get out to get water outside the neighborhood. And so a lot of things need to be put into place. And also the fact that many of the fire engines are not located within the Eastlands areas, which suffer mostly from this kind of disasters. So there's a lot of change. We need a mindset change.
Have you had a conversation amongst the members of parliament as well as with the city county government around this?
All the time. Every time when there is a problem, we go and raise it. And we hope that we have learned from the past and that we have best practices that can mitigate disasters of this kind. I think the best institution at the moment that has been helping us to mitigate some of this problem is the Red Cross, which is relatively well organized and better equipped than most of the disaster institutions that we have in our capital city.
Fidelis, on Thursday, the fire broke out. We understand that it was at 2 a.m. and then it took several hours to be put out. I don't know, where were you and what did you see in terms of responding to that incident, kujaribu kuzima moto?
Hiyo moto ikianza nilikuwa kwa nyumba.
Wapi?
Mahali naishi Huruma. Nikapigiwa simu na rafiki tunafanya kazi na yeye, kaniambia kwamba hapo kwetu imeshika moto. Saa 9 nikaamuka, nikaondoka mimi. Kufika mimi sikuweza kuingia karibu. Ile moto ilikuwa hapo, ilikuwa mingi. Sikuweza kukaribia. Na kwangu already kulikuwa kumeshaisha. Kitambo nifike. Ilikuwa hiyo, nikajua hiyo mambo yangu mimi imeenda chini. Kajua hiyo imeenda. Na mimi nikakaa mahali mpaka asubuhi. Ile ilikuwa huko, walifika hapo ni askari. Na walikuwa kidogo a distance. Hawakuwa wanaitikia mtu mwingine ingie, kwa sababu mtu anaweza ingia na ile haraka yake aingia achomeke.
Naam. Na unajua mtu yote ambaye alikuwa anafanya kazi hapo, alikuwa anaishi hapo na akapoteza maisha yake?
Alikuwa anafanya kazi na tunafanya kazi na yeye hapa. Hakuna wale walichomeka, ni wale walikuwa attendants za ile nyumba siko hapo karibu.
Okay.
Hakuna, unajua sisi kwa Kikomba huwezi itikia kukomboa nyumba hapo karibu. We know ile kunaendanga. Na hii moto ikiingia si haitaingia kwa nyumba, ni moshi inaua. Moshi ndio inakuanga, kwa sababu hiyo moshi ndio inakuanga ni masponge, bao, chemicals. Naona sikilipuka ile moshi inaingia ndio inakumaliza. Na
Kilonzo, hizo nyakati zote ambapo kumekuwa na visa vya moto, sijui kila wakati kila kitu kinachomeka vinakwisha. Ni vipi basi? Shida ni nini? Ni kwa nini wale watu ambao wanakuja kuzima moto hawezi kufika pale kwa wakati ufao?
Sana unapika simu, hizo gari sipatikane, inakuwa ni shida. Maybe hawachukui. Kwa sababu pale kama kungekuwa kumefika gari ya kuzima moto mapema, ingekuwa imetusaidia sana. Ingetusaidia.
Okay.
Lakini zilikuja later. Hata nakumbuka last time tulisaidiwa na ya Group 4 na Air Force. Ndio ilikuja last time, ili kulituokoa sana. Lakini hizi zetu za Kanjo hizi hasikufika in time.
Okay.
Wanakuanga na delay. Kama angekuwa faster, hata watu wengi wale walikufa walikuwa ni ile maprotest kwa mwisho. Hawangefikiwa. Sababu moto ilianza na huko chini pande ile ikikuja. So ungekuta watu wangepata nafasi ya kutoka. Lakini wakati gari zili delay, hii moto ikaenda faster. Sababu ya ile chemicals.
Clearly, there's a serious challenge in disaster response within Nairobi, and of course, that's affecting the situations that we see of fire, as also spoken about by the Member of Parliament for Kamukunji. Let's now cross over to Gikomba Market, where Hassan Mogambi is there. We understand, Hassan, that the traders are planning to stage demonstrations because, as we heard just a few minutes ago from the Deputy County Commissioner of Kamukunji, that is Moses Lilan, he says that the traders will not be allowed to rebuild there. If you can hear me, what can you tell us? Well, sadly he cannot hear us. We try to reconnect with him, but Mheshimiwa, clearly as you can hear, there is that challenge of accessing these areas when fire breaks out, and even as the government plans to come up with this master plan of how to review the structure of the market and ensure that it is better equipped. What would it take in terms of resources to ensure that all those things are put into consideration?
First of all, I know that the government through the Department for Urban Development has worked out. It has designed a new layout for the market and how it would look like. What was left was a budget allocation. And we also have a presidential pledge and directive that the market must be built. So the plan is in place, as the district, the county Deputy County Commissioner has said. The question that we've been asking is, since this plan is already in place and it's already been budgeted to be built in several phases, the traders have been consulted and they have consented to the rebuilding plan. What has happened? Why is it taking so long? And when would the government move into action to start the first phase of this particular development. The second element that also doesn't need to wait for a budget is what action is the county government taking in terms of disaster response and to disaster management. And one of the factors is to have a fire brigade, a fire station allocated in a neighborhood or in the neighborhood to make sure that in fact when a fire breaks out there is an instant response. Because to a certain extent when these fires break out, what you would see is that they are mostly manageable if there are enough resources, if there is a quick response to it. But here I see incompetence and negligence on the part of those responsible for the disaster management here. They have not been able to do their job effectively and well. There are also local factors, which are that the kiosks and some of these constructions are built in such a way that the disaster teams cannot go through. But there is legislation. There are county legislation and there's a national legislation to deal with cases like that. Why has the various government departments and county departments not taken action to make sure that these directives, these bylaws are met, and that in fact the disaster response team and the fire brigades can get in? What about the water provisions? Every time when we have had a disaster in our capital city, the fire brigade arrives, the fire engines arrive, but the problem is that they run out of water in the middle of it, and the fire spreads. So all these things are things that have failed because of incompetence or negligence on the part of the officials responsible for the management of this particular problem. So all these things put together, we have a very serious problem here that needs to be addressed by both with the help of the national government and the county government. And I hope that the latest disaster that we've had, which has cost several lives, would be a wake-up call, and we'd be able to say enough is enough. We simply would not be able to wait for another disaster to happen. We need to act now and very quickly to make sure that we do not suffer the kind of casualties that we have seen, the tragedy that we have recently seen in Kikomba. It is unacceptable.